All right. So we are doing our meal planning live tonight. Dana and I are going to be talking about how to build the basics of a balanced meal plan. So I got to get her on here and we will get started. Um, Sometimes it just takes a minute. There we go. Hi.
Hi,
How are
how's it going?
you?
Good, how are you?
Good. That was an easy connection.
Okay, good. I was hoping so. I tried to request it didn't send, but I guess it did, so that's all good.
That's perfect. We're
Yeah,
ready.
yeah. Cool. So where would you like to start?
Well, I guess let's start talking about a balanced meal plan.
Mm-hmm.
These days I find that so many of the meal plans and the things that are being promoted are so low carb, high fat, carn like they're so specific.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those are excellent tools. I use them often.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes right down to it, most people really just need a really well balanced, really well put together simple meal plan.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Like a lot of people are obsessing over like counting their macros and everything like that. And I mean, it is a good thing, but it can get so tedious just for like the average person. A lot of the time, a better way to go about it is to just build a habit and a routine. And as long as you understand that, half your plate should be fruits and veggies, and then you need protein here and carbs there, and you
Yeah,
can get into that and you can plan it out
yeah,
as long as you stick to that like routine per se, then you're good. Like honestly, people just need to get into that and like meal planning, prepping on a Sunday night, like today, for example, for the whole week, and then you're good to go. So
yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
had to come up and change. We did some major meal prep today, and I thought I gotta change.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Meal prep takes time, right?
It
It
does. It
takes
does.
planning and focus and energy. If your
Yeah.
kitchen's not a disaster, you're probably not eating all that well.
Yeah, honestly, it's so
Yeah.
true. Yeah, it's worth it though. It makes it so much easier for the rest of the week too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was reading a research article just the other week, and it was talking about how 74% of homes these days aren't cooking with real ingredients.
Mm.
They're either eating out or they're buying boxed meals or they're buying prepared meals. And while there can be a time and place for that, 74% is a really
High
huge amount of
number.
people, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that aren't cooking with basic foods anymore.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, people like they just need to get into the practice of cooking in bulk, like buying, raw chicken breasts and making it from scratch. Just make a bunch of it for the whole family for the week, for example. Like yeah, and then yeah, like I said earlier, it makes it so much easier for the whole week. You don't have to think about it. But of course, you don't have to eat the same thing. Like being on a meal plan doesn't mean that you have to eat the same thing all the time. Like you can have different options. Like when I make meal plans for my clients, like
Yeah,
I give them, for example, let's say 5 ounces of protein, and then in brackets they'll have chicken, beef, fish, whatever it is they can choose. And then they can mix and match as well. Same thing with carbs and veggies, everything like that too. Obviously, I know it gets more like your kitchen is going to be a disaster if you're choosing a different protein each day, but maybe
yeah,
each week you can switch it up and it's perfect.
yes.
Hmm.
So let's kind of break down, right, how you build a meal plan or how anyone listening to this, right, where to get started.
Hmm.
I know that everyone's kind of got their different right ways of prepping a few things, but when it comes right down to it, how's the best way to start to build, even on your own, a meal plan for you or your family?
Hmm. Okay, I always like to start with protein. Like I always will choose the protein first.
Yeah.
And then of course like the needs for everyone is different. Of course, like depending on your goals with the meal plan, depending on like your activity level and all that kind of stuff. But just for the purpose of today, for a general guideline, I typically would say the palm, like size of your palm, would be
Okay.
a good portion of cooked protein.
Okay.
So on your plate, about the size of your palm, and then carbs would be next. So you could again mix and match. It could be quinoa, rice, potatoes, whatever. Um, for again, on average, I would say a 1 cupped hand of
Yeah.
carbs. Of course, again, everyone's different. So if you're a marathon runner or something, you probably would want 2 cupped hands at least or more. But just, yeah, for the average, I'd say about those portion sizes. And then fat would be the smallest amount. Of course, it's still super important. You need fat, but about like a thumb measurement of fat. So that could be like avocado, it could be olive oil,
That could
anything
even
like
be what
that.
you're cooking your food in, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Like olive oil, for example, and then
Yeah.
you got that done. Like just like a teaspoon of it even or a tablespoon,
Yeah.
depending how much you're cooking. But yeah, it's an easy way to slip the essential fatty acids in there too. So
It's also a really easy way to go overboard if you're not paying
yeah.
attention,
Yeah,
right? And
it's true.
that's, I mean, we can talk about calories in a few minutes, but sometimes it's shocking if you step back and look at some of those things. And fat is good for you. You need it. Your body's not going to function well without it.
Hmm.
But it's one of those sneaky things that can add up really fast, right? If you're cooking in a fat, if you're drizzling it over, if you're using a salad dressing, right? The next thing you know, you've got a 3,000 calorie meal.
Yeah, it's true.
So actually monitoring some of those sizes is really important.
Yeah, even with avocados too, like those are so popular these days. I love avocado toast, but it's like you have to be careful. Like a quarter of an avocado already, like that's enough. Like that's more than enough, just from calories and fat content, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then the rest of your plate is fiber, right? That's all
Hmm.
of your vegetables.
Hmm.
That's if you choose fruits with your meal.
Exactly. Yeah.
So breaking it down for breakfast, for example, you're talking about eggs, a little bit of sourdough,
Hmm.
toast,
Hmm.
and a bowl of berries.
Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect.
3 items. I mean, you can even hard boil the eggs ahead of time, right?
Hmm.
You can wash your berries ahead of time, and you've got a well balanced, easy, fast meal.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's lots of ways to do breakfast too. I love Greek yogurt, so I'll do that quite often. And then with that, you could have like the berries and you can add like homemade granola on it. Or there's like overnight oats. That's super easy. You just make it the night before, it's in the fridge and it's ready to go the next day. Um, yeah, you can add like I like to put like flax seeds and chia seeds and things like that in there as well. So it's cool because you can kind of make it like you can custom make it to fit your meal plan or your goals really.
So when it comes down to picking the protein, this
Hmm.
is for any meal plan that you're doing, right? If you're sensitive to eggs, don't choose eggs, choose chicken, choose Greek yogurt, right? If
Yeah.
you're uh, doing vegan or vegetarian right now, you might do beans or lentils instead. So any protein across the board fits in that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Same thing with carbs, right? And there's a big concern around grain-based carbs, so that's okay, right?
Hmm.
That's where you can still swap out potato or sweet potato, right?
Hmm.
Like you had mentioned, right? Quinoa, rice.
Hmm.
So it's not that carbs are taking over your meal. You can still choose whatever carb fits for your situation.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
then same thing with the vegetables or the fruits. It's really quite wide open.
Hmm. Yeah, 100%. And the fruits and veggies give you such a small amount of carbs too. A lot of people like concern about that too. Like I hear like some clients are asking like, "Oh, like can I eat too much fruit?" And I'm like, "It's okay." Like I honestly don't really count the fruit like per se for general use. I don't count fruit towards carbs. Like if you're eating a meal and you're having like rice, obviously that's your carbs. And if you're having fruit later as a snack or something, yeah, there's there's carbs in it, but it's such a small amount, and it's like natural sugars too, and it's giving you micronutrients as well. So it's nothing to be that concerned about in this sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've done a lot of meal plans over the years with people that have real specific guidelines.
Yeah.
So hearing from you that fruit's really not a culprit in a meal plan doesn't really make or break it is actually really quite it's quite relieving.
Yeah, yeah, because a lot of people obsess over those kind of things. Like to me, I group in my mind, I'm like, oh, fruits and veggies. Like that's its own entity. You know what I mean? Like if you're having your plate and half of it is kale or lettuce, you're not thinking, oh my gosh, half of my plate is carbs. Like, no, it's not. Like
No.
it's micronutrients, it's fiber. You need that.
Yeah. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, without that, your digestive system won't work very well.
Exactly. Yeah.
So one of the big things that I mean everyone is seeing these days is protein, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
You need more protein than you ever think you could need. You need to eat it all day long, right? And I see people all the time, and I'm actually pulling people off protein
Mm-hmm.
because they've eaten so imbalanced for so long,
Yeah.
right? Or they've got such gut dysfunction that the protein is causing ammonia buildup in their system. So
Yeah.
they're foggy, they're bloated, they're headachy, they're swollen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're thinking, I just got to eat more protein.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, the ammonia is definitely a big thing, especially if people aren't pairing their protein properly, like if they're not eating like enough carbs with it, for example. Because when you digest protein, obviously you just get ammonia, but if there's not enough to help kind of clear it out of the system, I guess. It's just gonna build up. And then, so that's a big one. And then also, all the high protein snacks and like packaged things these days, they're full of just aspartame, sucralose, fillers, sugar alcohols, things like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, even though it's labeled high protein, that doesn't automatically make it healthy. And those additives can be also contributing to the bloating and the digestive upset and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's important,
Hmm.
but I think that it's taken center stage when I think there's some other nutrients that, right, like we said, are just really required for the whole digestive process, right? I'm talking about balance today, a balanced meal plan.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, like those small, like the packaged protein snacks are like once in a blue moon if you're on the go and you need that. It's not an everyday like nutrition source at all. Like it shouldn't replace like a meal or anything, of course. And
So
then it's
what's your
also like
take
killing
on,
the, sorry, go ahead.
no, you keep going.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's also like killing the microbiome too, like
Sure.
the more, yeah, like processed packaged things like that as well.
So what's your take on protein powders?
Okay, so most of them are full of sucralose.
Yeah.
A brand that I really like is Diesel. It's basically it is an isolate, but it doesn't have that sucralose. It has stevia, so it's a little bit better, like it's more natural. But still, if you're getting like any flavored protein, it's like a bunch of fillers and artificial sweeteners too. Like it's hard for me to even just drink a protein shake in water now because all I can taste is the sucralose. But I do like the like any unflavored protein, it's literally just protein. Like that's fine because of course there's no flavor to it, so they don't have to add anything. But yeah, that's basically it. Like again, it's just mostly for people who really like need that extra protein, like if they're not getting enough of it or whatever. It's like a tool, but it's not something to rely on.
So would you say that that's the average person that's not getting enough protein that needs that extra supplemental protein? Or would you say that people that need that extra protein are typically people that are looking to put on more muscle or they're doing really physical jobs?
Yeah, I would say people who are more definitely more active, like in the gym or just with work, like you said, or even people who say they had an injury and they're like healing or something, then you would also
Okay.
require more proteins as well.
Okay.
But for the average person, say you go work a 9 to 5 in the office and you go home at the end of the day, you're probably getting enough protein as it is. If you're eating a balanced meal plan like we're talking about, it
Yeah.
should be fine. And you do get amino acids from a bunch of other foods as well. Like even just from eating vegetables, like there's amino acids in there too. So yeah, like even plant-based, if you're a vegetarian, like there's ways that you can pick and choose, like you get some amino acids from peas and some from rice, and if you eat them all together properly, you can get the full like amino acid like complex, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
yeah, for the average person, I'd say, especially these days with the whole high protein craze, I think people are totally fine if they're focusing on a balanced diet.
I find that, I mean, the majority of the people that I take care of, right, are having hormonal issues, right?
Hmm.
There's some really wild stories.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say almost 100% of the time, as soon as we take them off some of the protein powders and protein substitutes that they've been using, and you put them on a real balanced meal plan, right,
Hmm.
where we cut back some of that, or we talk about real proteins and adding a lot more fiber in, right?
Hmm.
It's only a matter of weeks, and they come back and go, I feel less inflamed. I feel
Hmm.
less achy. My digestive system is moving better.
Hmm. Yeah,
And it's
100%.
it's the balance that's done that.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I'd much rather just eat a nice balanced meal rather than have to worry about, oh, did I have my protein shake today? Or, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you just feel better overall.
Yeah, it's real food.
Yeah, exactly.
So you talked a little bit about like vegans or vegetarians and kind of how you compare different foods together.
Hmm.
So I mean that's something, right, that I think if you are choosing some of those really specific ways to eat, I really think you need guidance.
Hmm. Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
That's where you,
100%.
yeah, you got to get a professional to build you a plan for some of those things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because even for example, like if you look at a protein powder tub, a vegan one, it's not just gonna say soy protein on it. It's gonna say like you get your amino acids from soy, rice, like whatever, all this stuff. But again, like we were saying, instead of having all that artificial and extra supplemental stuff, there's ways that you can go about it in real food too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
One of the things that I like about your meal plans, and you said this right back at the beginning, is that right when you're building your meal plan and you look at, okay, start with your protein, right,
Hmm.
and you give people a list of proteins that they can pick from, right, and pick your carb, and here's your options, and then pick your vegetables, here's your massive option, right? There's flexibility with that.
Hmm.
So whether someone's doing a custom meal plan or whether they're just writing out grocery lists for themselves and their family, that's really the best way to go about it.
Yeah, for sure. Because not only do you have variety so that you don't get bored of eating the same thing, because I know how it feels to eat the same thing. It's not very fun.
No.
But it's actually healthier for you to have a variety. It doesn't have to be different every day, like I said, because of course, meal
Yeah.
prep for 3 or 4 days, 5 days, whatever.
Yeah.
Then switch it up the following week. You don't want to have, for example, chicken every single day for the rest of your life because you're going to be missing out on
Too
all
many.
the other nutrients. Like you're missing omega 3s, iron, zinc. And then that can also lead to like deficiencies, of course, but down the road, like sensitivities and allergies as well if you aren't eating a variety.
Yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
That's very true.
Hmm.
Can we talk about calories for a few minutes?
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
So,
most people that I see that are trying to lose weight are either massively under eating,
mhm, yeah,
thinking that they're creating a calorie deficit and that their
yep.
body's going to get the signal to lose fat.
This is what I hear all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or they're on the other end of the scale and they're truly eating too many calories.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, it's true. I often hear people say calories in versus calories out. Like,
Yeah.
it's true to an extent, but it's not that easy. I wish it was that easy. It would make my job easier, but
I
no, it's
know.
honestly, your body, like, if you, okay, so say you want to lose weight and you cut your calories by a lot, like, your body is not going to care about, oh, losing that extra 5 pounds. Your body is going to prioritize staying alive and functioning properly. So if you cut calories too much, basically your metabolism is going to slow because your body's going to freak out and think, oh, we don't have access to food. I'm going to hold on to everything that I can. And it's gonna basically it can mess up your thyroid. Like your metabolism's gonna slow. You're gonna feel tired all the time because your body's deliberately burning less calories
Yeah.
and it's storing everything that it possibly can. So yeah, I see that all the time where people are like, I'm barely eating and I'm gaining
Yeah.
weight or I haven't changed at
Yeah.
all. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
yeah. You need to do it slowly. Like, of course, calories play a role in weight loss,
Yeah.
but it's not like that. Like, you need to like slow, like each week maybe or every 2 weeks, decrease calories by bit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I I like to have people calculate their calories at first.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they're way over, right? No wonder, right? Things aren't working well. And at that point we adjust,
Mm-hmm.
right? But learning that you need more, and sometimes that's shocking for people,
Yeah.
especially when you're trying to lose weight, being told you actually need more calories is actually a little bit scary.
Yeah. As long as you're getting all the proper micronutrients and everything, it will work. Because your body needs those micros, like your metabolism, your thyroid, all those types of systems need those vitamins and minerals to actually work properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially during hormonal changes.
Hmm. Yeah, 100%.
And those are the key times that us women are really bad for cutting calories.
Hmm.
So, right, puberty, perimenopause, menopause, right? If there's any kind of thyroid issue going on, right, and weight fluctuates, right, or there's water retention involved, right, we're like we back off.
Hmm.
And those are actually the key moments where your body needs fuel
Yeah, exactly.
to fuel the hormone process, right? Even monthly cycles, right? There's usually those few days beforehand where like women always talk about having cravings and wanting to eat more.
Yeah.
That's their body converting hormone, right? So
Hmm.
that's your thyroid hormone conversion. That's your estrogen to progesterone changing. That's where you kind of got to feed into that system, not back off it.
Hmm. Yeah,
There's other times where it's
100%.
okay to back off.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
in general, talking about a balanced meal plan, knowing how to build your plate and knowing the calories that your body needs is really important.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Let's talk a little bit about prepping things ahead of time.
Hmm.
Um, because we live in a world that is fast and convenient.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not always popular to say that eating healthy takes time and energy, but it
Hmm.
really does.
Yeah, it does.
So
Yeah.
there's some ways to make it faster.
Hmm. Yeah, my favorite is like just making like a burrito bowl because it covers all bases. Like I usually use rice for the base and then ground beef. Of course, you can change that if you wanted to. And then avocado is what I typically use for the fat. And like you can add whatever veggies you want. Like you could do like romaine lettuce, beans, corn, tomatoes, whatever. And then I just cook a bunch of rice. I have it stored in the fridge. Again, same thing with the beef. Cook a bunch of like ground beef, keep it in the fridge, and then I just pre-cut all the produce and have it in separate containers. And
Yeah,
then once I'm ready to eat it, I just scoop the rice, scoop the beef, put everything, heat it up, and there you
yeah,
go. Yeah.
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 And if you have histamine issues, you can still pre-cook your meat but freeze it right away. So
Mm-hmm.
instead of letting it sit in the fridge for a few days, cook it, divide it up, pop it in the freezer.
Yeah.
That way, a day or two in, you can still pull out something that you've cooked without being concerned about it being too much histamine. But you got to
Yeah,
freeze it right
exactly.
away. But for high histamine, that's how you prep, right? You can still do that, but freeze it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like again, if you're not dealing with histamine, I like crock pots or Instapots.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, those are
something that
great too.
they simplify it, right? You put your chicken and vegetables in and you cook it.
Leave for the day and it's ready.
Yes. You
Yeah.
eat the chicken, you put a roast in and your vegetables, right? And
Yeah.
you've got something that is relatively hands off,
Mm-hmm.
that's warm, that's cooked. You've got your meat, you've got your protein, right? Maybe you come home and you add rice to it. Maybe you come home and right, you add some corn on the cob, right? Whatever your carb might be, but you've got the majority done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Easy. Yeah, and then there's even like the sheet pan as well. So you would just like dirty literally one pan. You might
Yeah,
have to add things at different times, of course, because they do cook differently, but as
yeah,
long as you just cut everything up into relatively the same size, they should cook pretty evenly.
yeah,
And then you can make like a lot of that again and then store it too. And then you're good to go.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty easy as well without having to have a million different dishes in the kitchen.
Yes, that's true.
Hmm.
That's an easier cleanup.
Hmm.
For someone that doesn't necessarily like a lot of leftovers, something that we'll often talk about is whatever you make for supper, make double.
Hmm.
Right? You eat your supper, you have your lunch the next day, then the next evening you might cook something different so
Hmm.
that you're only ever eating the same meal, right? Supper, then lunch, supper, then lunch. But
Yeah.
it gives you a little bit more variety without cooking another meal. You're just doing double.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great way to have that variety as well.
Yeah. It
Hmm.
does require you to make supper each night, but you get the next 1 to 2 meals that are done.
Exactly. And then it's good for people with histamine issues too, because then you're having like a fresh protein every night, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely.
Yeah.
One of the things that we have been that we've been kind of bombarded with over the past number of years is eat all day long. Small
Hmm.
meals all day long, right? Have breakfast, snack, supper, snack,
Hmm.
right? And it's constant.
Hmm.
And one of the big things that I do is I pull people off all of those snacks.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
find that if you're eating a balanced plate with breakfast and lunch and supper, that there shouldn't be a whole lot of a need for those extra calories between your meals.
Yeah, and then that kind of causes a habit too, because then you'll become a snacker, which isn't always a good thing, especially like late at night or something like that. So,
It raises your insulin,
yeah.
right?
And then,
And we're in an insulin like surge right now. Everyone's got too much insulin, and it's because we've been eating nonstop.
hmm.
Right? Every time you eat, you get an insulin spike. Every time your insulin spikes, it changes your cortisol, your estrogen progesterone balance.
Hmm.
Right? And then we wonder why, right, perimenopause starts so early. Well, we've been snacking 5 times a day.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah, and it
do,
just keeps your circadian rhythm nice too, having 3 square meals a day.
yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. Even when it comes to gut dysfunction, right? If you're dealing with things like H. pylori or SIBO or constipation issues,
Hmm.
you've actually got to let your gut rest for several hours for your small intestine to move.
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
you're constantly putting food in it, it's never really going to move.
No, exactly.
What is it, 4 hours? I believe it's 4 hours in between.
Yeah. 4 hours at least, yeah.
Yeah. So the
Hmm.
way people used to eat, right? You used to have breakfast and leave the house. You'd have lunch, right? You'd come home at the end of the day and have supper, and that would be it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not eating a bunch of like refined carbs before bed and spiking your blood sugar.
Yeah. And then wondering why
Yeah,
you're waking at 3 a.m.
exactly.
Yeah. So I
Hmm.
do like in your meal plans that you offer both, right? You've
Hmm.
got balanced meals for people, and you do have snacks for people,
Yeah, those are
right?
if like if it's needed type of thing. Obviously, if you're not hungry, you don't want it, don't force yourself to eat it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take the gut break instead.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What are some other things that people need to take into account when they're starting to do some meal prep, right? What are some of the kitchen things that they should have around? What are some of the basic ingredients to kind of throw onto your grocery list to make prepping a little bit easier, especially if you've never done it before?
Okay, I always use like my main oil I cook with is olive oil. It's pretty simple. I always have that in the pantry. You could buy like packages of chicken and beef, whatever type of meat you like, and just throw it in the freezer. So then you
Yeah,
have a bunch stored in there. I always have rice and quinoa on hand. So you can just like buy those in bulk, like big bags of those as well. I would say those are the staples, like as long as you have those type of options, like the protein in the freezer, again, you can
yeah,
stock up for whatever weeks or months at
you
a
can.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then same thing with the carbs too. Yeah, olive oil is a good one. If
yeah,
you like nuts, you could do like walnuts or almonds or things like that. Either as a snack if needed, or you could throw it on like a salad or like on your oatmeal or something, and that's also a source of fat as well. And that's something that doesn't expire, well, for a long time. I mean, like it has a long shelf life. You can keep it in the pantry, in the fridge for a while. Yeah, I'd say those are the main ones, and then you could do just like some basic seasonings as well.
mhm,
Paprika is a good one. You could do like Italian seasoning is good if it's like not too high in salt or anything. I usually look at the ingredients.
yeah,
But yeah, just dried herbs too, just to keep on hand to cook with as well.
yeah.
Basil and stuff like that.
It does well for the budget. Right,
Hmm.
when you do maybe you do a protein run once a month, right? You get your pantry staples once a month, and then on a weekly basis, you're just buying more of the fruits and vegetables.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and like I said, I like the if you can do dairy, Greek yogurt, those last
Mhm.
pretty long. I usually just buy
Yeah,
like the zero fat, like obviously the plain Greek yogurt, just the big tubs of it. You could do the same thing with cottage cheese as well, things like that too.
yeah.
Yeah.
What other advice would you have for someone that's just starting off, right, getting their foods on track, right, getting some plans put in place? Are there a few keys that they should know?
Mm. Okay, I would say like the main thing is just to build a routine and a habit with it more so than doing all the like counting, like I mentioned earlier. Of course, if you prefer to count macros, that's totally cool, but I would say as long as you have the habit down first, where you meal prep, say you Sundays are like your meal prep day, and then you have that all planned, I would say, yeah, just put some time in your schedule, whatever works for you. And yeah, really just have that routine in place.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest one. And then just kind of understand too, like you can even look at the Canadian food guide if it helps, but imagine in your head, okay, half of my plate should be fruits and veggies, fiber, that kind of thing. The other quarter is carbs, and then protein is the other quarter. Just as long as you have that general picture in your head, that works as well for the individual meals too.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I think one of the big things I'll tell a lot of people is to just keep it really simple. Right? It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be really well involved, right? Like my example, right, of a hard-boiled egg with a little bit of sourdough and a bowl of berries,
Hmm.
right? It can be simple. It doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to take, right, simple ingredients. Keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Don't stress yourself out with it.
Yeah. And
Mm.
and like you said, right, get into a habit, right, and make it enjoyable. Right?
Yeah.
Whether you brew a really great pot of tea while you're doing it, right? Or you put some good music on, but make it enjoyable because to put together a meal plan and keep the meal plan going week after week, month after month, it does have to become part of your routine. It's got to be something
Yeah.
you prioritize.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's actually once you get into the habit, it pays off. Like there are times where I'm out like busy at work or going to the gym or whatever, and I'm hungry on my way home, and I'm thinking I'm so glad I have something ready in the fridge. I can just throw it together because I couldn't imagine cooking right now. Like it's just quick and easy, and it's all portioned as well. It's perfect.
Yeah. And there's
Mhm.
flexibility too if there's kids in the picture, right?
Mhm.
Because sometimes kids don't always eat everything you put in front of them.
Mhm.
But if you've got your basics there, right, you might only be making one or two adjustments.
Yeah.
For someone, right, like smaller children or people that have got some sensitivities or intolerances or even just different preferences.
Mhm. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So when you do a meal plan for someone, your meal plans include the breakfast options, lunch options, supper options. You put snack options in there.
Yep.
You also go through calories and macros. You're really quite detailed with the plans. They're
Mhm.
not standard. Here's the plan, take it and run with it. You calculate that all out for people.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Like you said, I list all the options, and then at the bottom I have the calories and the macros for the overall plan.
Yeah,
I used to, like, I'd say a couple years ago when I was starting with this whole thing, I used to actually put the individual meals and the individual components of each meal, the calories and the macros, and it just like a lot of people were like obsessing over it and being like, "Oh, can I replace these 25 grams of nuts with this?" And I'm like, yeah, like it's fine, it will fit into the macros. So after that,
yeah,
I kind of realized not only for me but for the clients too, it's easier just to have a overall view of the calories and the protein, fats, and carbs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that I really like about your meal plans is how specific you can be when people have certain health issues or conditions that need to be worked around, right? We
Mm-hmm.
see tons of people that we're doing low FODMAP with, right? Or they've got gallbladder issues. I think you've done a few with gallbladder issues lately,
Yeah.
right? So there's just some foods that are harder to digest.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like that you take all that into consideration, right? And that is the whole point of a custom meal plan, right?
Yeah.
Is that not only you can talk about these are my food preferences and these are my right goals in terms of foods, but um, right, if there's certain things going on, there's going to be more foods that you need or don't need, right? Someone that's got a thyroid condition, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know that they need different minerals, different
Mm-hmm.
proteins, right, than someone else.
Yeah.
Right, GI issues. If we're dealing with SIBO or H. pylori, there's going to be some foods that are going to be so important for them to eat, and
Mm-hmm.
others that you don't want anything to do. And you make all those arrangements in your meal plans for them.
Yeah, that's why the consult is great because that's the first thing I do after the consult. I take everything and I'm like, okay, this, and this are the concerns. So that means we
Yeah,
need this and we don't need this in the meal plan. I
yeah,
do that right away before I even start with anything else. And
yeah,
then I make the meal plan around that like template that I just wrote. Like, okay, we need to include these and we need to make sure anything to do with this is nowhere in the meal plan at all.
yeah,
Yeah, that's why consults are great because anyone can
yeah,
come up to me and say, "Oh, I'm 5'9", 150 pounds. Make me a meal plan." It's like, okay, but I don't know anything about you though. Like, what's
yeah.
going on with like, what are your symptoms? What's happening? So yeah, it's pretty easy as well to like once you really get to know someone. And then it's cool to see how the meal plan actually changes, like how it helps them and the changes that they're seeing, and then making little tweaks to the meal plan along the way as well. It's pretty interesting.
I would say that most people, when they are focused on their diet, right, when they're following a plan set for them, that most people, and this isn't everybody, but most people within the first 2 months will already see changes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's not if you're following it 50-50, right?
Yeah.
That's people that jump on and get going with it.
Yeah.
But it just shows the importance of knowing what to eat and when to eat it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Right?
for
You
sure.
you make dietary changes, and within a few weeks, someone that's constipated goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm going regularly again."
Yeah.
Right? Or dealing with heartburn, but you pull out a few foods and you add in some soothing foods, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they go, "Oh my goodness," right? I don't have to stand upright after a meal for 3 hours to avoid reflux anymore. Right?
Yeah.
Even skin issues or bloating, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's foods that bloat. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're
Yeah.
dealing with bacteria, you don't want those foods in your diet. We can pull those out for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's super interesting. I love seeing how the meal plans help people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I posted about it not that long ago because it was so interesting to me, right? Everything's heading down AI and just ask Chat GPT and you'll figure everything out. And
Yeah.
there's all sorts of ads for, right? Just plug what you wanted in a meal plan and it'll spit out a meal plan for you and you can follow it. And I've had a number of people that have done that lately.
Yeah. But
And
again, they that doesn't know you well. Like the computer system, it doesn't know all these other issues that you're having or whatever
it
it might
doesn't.
be.
It
Yeah.
doesn't. It doesn't know that your iron levels are low or that your
Mm-hmm.
thyroid conversion is sluggish,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or that your estrogen's too high. So there's foods that you want to avoid. So I find it quite interesting that the change, right?
Mm-hmm.
The change from throwing it together, right? Buying a boxed plan as opposed to customizing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really quite cool to see. Well, I'm repeating myself here, but how quickly something can change when you're eating properly.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's worth it for sure.
Yeah,
Like you're investing in yourself, so it's definitely worth it.
it's true. It's
Mm-hmm.
true. And a meal plan, you can take and run with that meal plan for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. There'll be a few key moments where things will need tweaked.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that I think is fun about meal planning is adding like a food sensitivity panel to that as well. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
fun because
Yeah.
I'll see a lot of people that have done food sensitivity testing and right, they just light the panel right up and they don't even know what to eat anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right, or their one of their children right does a panel and they've got to remove all these sorts of foods, right? The ability to take that panel and go, I got this, right? Let's build
Yeah.
this and give you a guideline, I
Yeah.
think is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And for people looking to take it up a notch too, right? That's where with the meal plan we can add in some of that food sensitivity testing too.
Exactly.
Just dialing it in a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
probably talk a little bit more on that another time,
Mm-hmm.
but just the flexibility with custom plans, right? I mean, if you can do a basic plan for yourself, that's amazing, right? But if
Yeah.
you've got other things going on, a custom plan is kind of the way you want to go.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of material here.
Yeah, I think so too.
So I'll summarize all of this for everyone and kind of building a balanced meal plan. But if you've got questions, if this is something you need more info on, right? Certainly, if you're looking for certain goals, reach out to us, right? We're more than happy to help, or even tell you if this is the right way for you to go.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
we've got all sorts of meal planning options.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Well,
Okay.
thank you
Well,
for having me.
yeah, thank you for joining us.
Of
We'll have
course.
to do a part two of this where we kind of get into a few other deeper things soon.
Yeah, for sure. We can do more about food intolerances and sensitivities, things like that as well.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
that soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. See you.
Bye.